Well, welcome back to Emerald Shrine. D-Lo, Ieshie, Relly. Um, you already know what we talking about today. Sonic Frontiers. Ain't even no introduction for real. But yeah, man. We're gonna split up in two videos. This first one is gonna be pretty chill, non-spoiler. I'm the only one out of us three who's finished it. But we did want to kind of give our impressions on it. And also the game's still fairly new, so we don't want to spoil it for y'all. So
Yep.
um I'll give the reins to one of y'all to talk about how y'all feel first. Because I don't want to start talking over my mouth and kind of spoil stuff. So
That's
y'all
fair.
boys
That's
got it.
fair. Okay. So we're gonna avoid all story beats, anything like that. We're not gonna talk about story until we get to the second video, because that's not that point when me and really would have beaten the game already. So let's see here. How do I feel about the game? So I've gotten to 3 islands so far: Kronos, Ares, and Chaos Island. About halfway through Chaos Island. The game is absolutely beautiful. I think we can all agree on that. One of the most beautiful sounding games we have ever put our hands on. It's sort of the vibe of it. It's different from previous sounding games. I mean, I'm getting a lot of like obviously open world, but like it's not as sort of like upbeat or chaotic how you get from Adventure or Heroes or even Shadow kind of games. So it's like a fresh take, and I hear a lot of people, like I saw a lot of comments like on Twitter and like YouTube saying it's taking a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, I can agree with that. It's pretty valid. And we were just talking about it, like, like 2 minutes ago, how there was 60 people on the team working on this game, AAA title. I think it was really pretty well done, honestly, as far as from what I played. What do you think, really?
Um, I absolutely love the game. I think, in terms of the Breath of the Wild comment, a lot of open world games nowadays have taken crazy inspiration from that. So I feel like it's kind of unfair to be like, oh, Sonic Frontiers is just biting off Breath of the Wild,
Mm,
when really, if we're being realistic, that game set like a new bar for like open world games,
a
and a
thousand
lot of
percent.
It,
other companies also use that for like inspiration for their open world games, and that kind of like set off this like trend of having an open world Breath of the Wild type game.
Yeah.
So, but aside from like that aspect of it, I love the gameplay. I love the mechanics, especially.
Mm,
And me personally, like my favorite part of any game I play is like the music. So like even right now, I'm chilling and listening to the fishing lo-fi
no, oh, they
OST.
made a lo-fi beat for it already? That's
Yo,
tough,
no, no,
bro.
no, it's not it's in the game.
It's in the game?
oh
I
no,
wasn't really
yeah,
listening
Yeah,
to it
yeah,
when you
like
go
that.
when you
yeah.
go fishing
Oh,
with
that's tough.
Big,
Big.
Oh.
No
when you go
cap though.
fishing with Big, that song is so fire, bro. I
No
just
cap.
listened to
This,
it.
this no cap. This isn't a spoiler, but I finished the game, bro. But like, I didn't even get into any like fishing portals
Oh, you
with
didn't do
Big
the
until like
fishing
the
at all?
last. Well, I didn't find it into like the last island.
Oh, okay.
So I was
What?
like, I don't know what I was on, but I didn't find it.
Damn, you be
Currently, I'm
speed
like
running.
100% in like open up all the maps and stuff. So I found them now, but I didn't. I'm like, what the heck? Why can't I find it? But
Yeah,
I came in clutch at the end. So
that's
I
tough.
think I had found it by accident. I think I was just like running through the map, and
I
I had
think
seen him in like the forest area
Yeah, I
on
think the
Kronos
first
Island.
island, like I think like you're supposed to find it. I think they made it that way, from how I
I
was playing it.
don't.
Cause I thought it was a
mm,
regular portal, cause it was just out in the open after like you do that one boss where like you're like running on a platform midair. I forgot what it's called,
Yeah,
but like after you beat it, it's like
mm.
this one portal like out in the middle of the world, and then it's just there, and it's actually like Big's fishing thing.
Probably no cap. I don't know what I was on, bro. That first one,
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of stuff, bro. Like I was just running,
oh no.
so that is true.
Yeah, for
But
sure. I think
um,
I think
what?
oh, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, 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 you're good.
All
You're
right,
good. You're
I
good.
think as far as like the controls go, it's, I mean, we have complete freedom. What our layout is, which is pretty good. Obviously, you guys saw the stream. I was having trouble like trying to figure out the button layout and stuff. I think that's totally fine. I'm still playing on default, but what kind of throws me off about as far as like the game and controls go is actually the camera sometimes, because they're mixing obviously the 2D side scrolling parts in the open world, but it's like it's at points where it feels a little awkward and like the camera just doesn't adjust as fast or in the way that it should for like a player to like visually like keep up with Sonic himself, if that makes sense.
Is it bad that I like that? Like I kind of like that he's like
What?
so fast that like the camera's like not keeping up with him.
I
I
mean,
mean
if
that's
it's
kind of
It
that's
gives off
intentional,
that
I can
impression.
respect that 100%. That's part of the artistic,
That's just me. Like
thing
again,
too.
like that's just my personal like opinion.
I
Like I've
mean
always like loved that. Like in Sonic 2, where you could like
yeah,
run so fast, where you off the screen, bro,
Yeah.
and the camera can.
that's
That's
exactly what I was about to say.
fire. So
Yeah.
like that's just like something I've always liked.
Okay, I can get with
Um.
that. It's just that this game specifically, it's open world, so it's like at some
True.
parts of it, they kind of throw in that 2D side scrolling part, especially like when you're wall jumping or doing like the flips off the rails.
Mm,
It's like it's a
yeah.
little weird, bro. But that's just
Yeah.
me.
I think some parts, and I've especially noticed that because I put the improved physics mod
Hmm.
because I'm playing on PC.
Yeah.
I especially noticed that more um, because I low-key just started flying like off rails and stuff, and I don't know if that's just because of the mod or just because like, well, I think it is part of the mod, but I think because I'm higher speed, like now I low-key gotten screwed over a little bit and probably like ended up in situations that I probably wouldn't have if I was playing normal.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's cool. Um, but I'm just kind of move on. But it's crazy that I mean, and the game has its problems. I mean, we'll I think we'll kind of segue back into that.
Yeah. 100%.
But I I think it's crazy that for one, kind of where what we got, and again, not trying to spoil, but what we got compared to where we were like 10 years ago. Um, so in 2011, Generations, that was a celebration title.
Yeah.
Generations is probably one of the most beloved games in the franchise, easy. Um, and then after that, I believe that was we got Lost World.
It was
Yeah,
Lost World. Yeah.
yeah, we got Lost World 2013, um, which I think it is a little. I don't think it deserved the hate that it got for real. For real.
I think it does.
I don't think it's a terrible game, but I think compared to what we got before, like we went from generations to that, then yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I
Um,
can see that. It's sort of one of
um,
those things where like they know they did a good job with Generations and even Colors, but somehow they took
mhm,
2 steps back and made Sonic Lost World,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is insane.
yeah. Um, then we got Boom. I don't think I really need to say much about that. That and then what was it after that? I think it was Forces. I believe
Oh
we got
man,
yeah.
yeah.
I believe it was Forces. Um, so from Forces to Frontiers, I think it's a night and day comparison.
Easily, 100%.
Easily, it's a night and day comparison
Yeah, one
to
thousand percent.
kind of like what we got. Um, again, just gameplay and story. Even though I do think, as far as gameplay, I think the control of cyberspace, I'm not a fan. But
Oh,
I think
really, really?
I
Yeah,
don't.
I have
I
to. So I'm gonna actually agree with that. Like, so for me, mainly, it was the where Sonic's in 3D and then he goes into 2D, like you were saying, but except in cyberspace, it's like mad awkward, like because it's mad slow compared to when when it's like in the third person versus like that 2D view, and then the left right sidestep is miserable in
so
cyberspace, bro. It was
yeah.
driving me
So
crazy.
I think they were trying to, well, not trying, but it sucks because in open zone, like that's it works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like because you
Yes.
have all the space, and you have like kind of the room to kind of make a mistake at,
Hmm.
but cyberspace, like
It's just like how the
it
levels
it,
were
it
in Generations, kind of like
but but it clashes with that game style.
Yeah, yeah,
It clashes hard with it, and I was wondering. I was like, I can see why, like, because I was like, if they even had like the control of colors, it would be perfect. But I understand, like, it's kind of hard to kind of do, you know, both of that when you kind of already have a solid like gameplay style that you're working on. But
yeah.
honestly, it once you do get the hang of it, like it can be fun,
Hmm.
but I can see for anybody who's first time actually playing and be like, "Yo, what the heck?" Like I,
Yeah.
not it was rough for me.
Hmm.
Even like even with the kind of improved physics, like I still struggle a bit. But no, I can definitely see like the complaints with that, because
That
that definitely happened to me a lot.
that's
I feel
valid.
like what the devs did was like, and I don't really agree with this. Like they tried to carry over the open world controls to cyberspace. Like I
That's
was
what I was about
playing
to
around with
say.
it
I
a
feel
little
like that's what
bit,
they did.
and that's exactly what they did. Actually, like I was playing around with some of the combos that they let you do in the training. I'm like, does this work in cyberspace? And like they do. So I was like,
Why?
okay. So it seems like they didn't really change any of the controls from open world versus cyberspace. So I was like, well, I wonder why they didn't do that, because they're two completely different styles
Game
of
styles.
gameplay.
Yeah.
So I personally would have, changed a couple of things, or like just tweak some of the controls so that
Mm,
way when you're in cyberspace that they operate better for that space.
yeah.
Like I actually saw like a fixed version of cyberspace, like a mod on YouTube, and I was like, that's what it should have played like. It should have played just like this.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, maybe they'll fix it, because again, it's only been the first week, so who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
they'll push some patches out.
You
But
think they'll put patches out for this game, or even release DLC?
absolutely, they're gonna push patches out, bro. I
it,
mean,
there,
the
yeah,
reception right now is like really good. Like we've been seeing a lot of good feedback, even on the stuff we've been posting,
Hmm.
and on the comment section of some of the shorts we have. People are really enjoying the game. I haven't seen any negative, huge, like like when the other games came out, there was like huge negative
Oh yeah,
backlash.
one thousand
There
percent.
hasn't been any huge negative backlash. It's for the most part been like positive, and everyone's kind of enjoying the game.
Yeah.
and
So
that's
I
another
think they
thing
might add
too.
on.
That's another thing too. Like again, just going back to like kind of where we came from, just because the game uh was announced last year. I think during it was like May of 2021. I think that was like it wasn't during the Sonic Symphony, but it was like around that time. Um, and it was just a teaser trailer. It's funny because I feel like most every teaser trailer I see of Sonic, like I feel like fans just get hyped and all he's doing is just running. There's no gameplay or nothing. But like I think I seen a meme of that, bro, and I'm like, that's so true. But it's crazy because up until so between that and I think the next time we actually seen like official stuff of the game was last December at the Game Awards, um, where they finally revealed the name and like all that stuff. But even then, it wasn't even actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Like it was showing footage, but like nothing was really happening. Um, and it's crazy because up until and then till June of this year, this past June, like we finally got gameplay. And again, I'm not gonna lie, I could see the complaints. It definitely looked rough. I think Sega definitely when it came to marketing, like, that was god awful, bro.
Okay.
Um,
Marketing.
but
I can
yeah,
respect that.
it definitely comes down to marketing. But literally ever since then, like the game looked better and better.
Yeah.
So I I wasn't like ready to write it off after the first like IGN
Hmm.
stuff, even though I could see why people were. But literally after it kept going on, it got better and better. So I was again I'm pretty pleased. I'm definitely pleased with it.
Okay, I can see that.
But you know,
I think so. Don't hit me on this one. So I can see why IGN like posted that gameplay the way that they did of like the first like gameplay ever of Sonic Frontiers, because I mean IGN has a history of hating Sonic for whatever reason, God knows what. But I didn't really, take that the game's gonna be trash kind of thing. I was hoping, still had high hopes. But when you look at it from that perspective, of actually playing the game now and what they had posted, you kind of see the issues that IGN was already pointing out before everybody knew. Which is, I mean, it's pretty interesting to be honest with you. But it's like not issues that make the game like Forces or Sonic Boom or
well,
anything like that. Those
well,
issues didn't really stand out to me like that.
well, what I will say, I don't for in this specific case, I don't necessarily blame IGN for kind of because
Sega
Sega
gave them that footage, yeah,
yeah,
100%.
and pretty much kind of told them like what you could do or like they pretty much like how to like show it. So
Hmm.
that I mean again that's mostly
Yeah, that
like
goes back to Sega,
yeah that goes back to Sega, but um I think just I mean again we're talking about issues
That's funny. They're kind of like they sort of gave us like here's a little bit of issues that we have that we can't fix in time. So give this to IGN.
Yeah,
That's what I feel like. That's what they did, low key, and just keep all like the super good stuff into a release, which is, I mean,
yeah,
not bad honestly. They just could have did a little better as far as marketing goes.
yeah.
So
So
but the way the game is now, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have it done by the time we do the second video, 100%. I'm halfway through Chaos Island. Actually, since we all did the first boss fight, how do you think about the supersonic gameplay?
um, well, hold on. First off, if this is gonna be non if it's gonna be a non-spoiler, I think we should save that until
Okay. Well, I just thought
we
we could talk about it because I mean there was a supersonic gameplay trailer, so I figured we could talk about that.
there
That is true, but I
that
think a
that
lot
that
of people that say, for instance, haven't that haven't like played the game,
Okay.
they
Okay.
don't know
well
We won't
how
talk about
early
it.
you get
we
it.
we we
Like
we
I was
can't
mad shocked when I got it like that early. I was like, oh, okay,
Nah.
already.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
we can definitely I mean definitely say I mean there's no way that people who have played are gonna disagree with this, but um the boss fights are definitely the best part of the game. Like and
Yeah.
hands down, like it's not even a contest. Um and I mean I can, you give me like I don't think it's a spoiler like per se. I think I just don't want to go too deep into that, like,
Yeah.
because then
That's straight. That's
yeah,
straight, bro. You
yeah,
don't have to at all whatsoever. We'll
yeah.
save all of that for the second video.
So no. I mean, as far
So,
as
like for you, since you did already beat the game, obviously, what do you like sort of, and obviously spoiler for you, what do you sort of expect Sega to do, Sonic Team, as far as like taking the feedback from this game going forward into the next one?
well, I mean, for one,
Like,
I
what do
mean,
you hope
even
that
just-
what do you want them to keep in as far as like the gameplay controls and open world stuff?
um,
I don't think we're gonna get another open world title, bro. I'll be
You don't think
honest.
so? Damn.
Absolutely
I
not.
think-
I
I
think
think
they're
we-
gonna build on this game.
oh no, I think that's what he meant though.
Is that what you meant? Or
Yeah.
do you mean like another new
No, that's
title?
that's what I
Oh
meant.
no,
Like,
no,
build on this
no,
game.
that's what. No, that's what
Oh,
he meant.
building on this game.
No,
Yeah,
because I mean, Izuka already said this is kind of like the building, like this is kind of like the groundwork of kind of the next decade of how these games will be. I think I think the game, like just going forward, just needs more polish, and I think that just goes back to the development team and like just they just need more people.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
considering like you can clearly see that the game isn't polished as a lot of other AAA games.
What?
But
We talking about AAA games in 2022.
Hey man, there's a lot of
We
messed
talking
up
about
AAA
polish.
games.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know how polished them AAA games are no more.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
I
Like
mean,
realistically, like based on gaming we played so far, the only AAA game that has been a AAA game this year was God of War.
And then it just came out,
that's another thing. It also doesn't help that this game released the day before God of War. So
That
it's-
is true, but I have
it is-
been seeing like a lot of reviews saying, these are like some of the two best games that came out recently, God of War and Sonic Frontiers. That's what I'm hearing.
yeah. I mean,
I've heard a lot of good things about God of War.
I heard a lot of good
God
things
of
about
War
Sonic
got a 10.
Frontiers too.
God of War got a 10 out of 10.
I think
It got a 10 out of
Frontiers
10.
got like
I mean,
a 7.5
7.
or something.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, a 7 out of 10 for me or for us as a fan is a win for me.
That's a
because
huge W, bro.
Yeah, that's a W for me. Which
That's fair.
I can see how people think that's kind of like
Yeah.
like a I guess a mediocre way to look at stuff. But I also do think that people kind of don't understand.
Because we do
The
have to
series
look
as
at
much
it
as we
like
do.
this, to go back to what you were saying, a lot of people, even if you're not a Sonic fan, a lot of the controls will be very disorienting at first. So it's probably one of those games to where you just have to adjust as you go. Like, it's not a huge issue, but it's enough for you to notice kind of thing, And you just have to adjust as you go.
Yeah. So it's a W for me. But again, this ain't no spoilers.
Yeah, for
Nothing.
sure. All right, so
But we were talking about this, but boss fights, hands down, best part of the game.
I agree, 100%.
I like there's no debate, there's no doubt. I feel like if you play this game and you say otherwise, you're wrong. But that's like I feel like that's kind of like saying you played Adventure 2, and you don't like the Sonic levels. Like you like the treasure, not treasure hunt, but the mech sages. Like that's your favorite part of the game. I feel like that's kind of the same energy, and I mean, it very well could be, but nobody says that.
Nobody says that. I never heard of
Nobody,
that before, so you're right.
yeah,
That's
nobody
funny.
says that, bro. But
Uh,
seriously, and then again, and just the story. I'm not gonna talk about the story for real, but um, the voice acting, the story beats.
oh man, I got something to
I
say about
think
that, but we can.
I
I'll save that for the next video.
I think again, Ian Flynn. Just it was just a. It makes me wonder like why he wasn't on this stuff sooner.
Mhm.
But um, nah, it's something to behold. The way they handled these characters, it it brought me back to like when I was a kid, like playing these games, and like it has been a long time since a game in this franchise has made me care.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm really like happy like with kind of just how it came out.
I
So
am. I'm like this game made me a proud fan, bro. And I haven't even beat it yet, bro. Like that's how good it is to me.
Uh,
it it definitely gave me low key Adventure 2. Um, it was a meme of and I'll probably send it to you guys. I mean, we just added in post, but
Yeah.
there was a meme of from Ratatouille. My memory's hazy, but I forget the guy's name. But the inspector at the end, he comes to like eat the food, and
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
I know what you're
yeah,
talking
he eats
about.
the
Yeah.
food and he eats it and he remembers when he's a kid. So like
It's
the
like that,
guy
bro.
when he eats the food, it's like Sonic Frontiers, and
Yeah.
then when he flashes back to a kid, it's like Adventure 1, Adventure
And
2.
everything's in black and white.
Yeah. So that is literally the perfect description of
Yeah,
like
I can get behind that.
how this game was for me, bro.
100%.
That's literally how it is.
Yeah. All right, so we are approaching on 25 minutes actually. Any final thoughts about your initial impressions on Sonic Frontiers? Really?
I like the game.
100%. We'll stick with that.
I mean,
Eh,
yeah, that's really all there is to it. I mean, it's just you enjoy it for what it is,
Mhm.
and it is not bad.
I
So I'm
agree.
enjoying it.
I agree
Nah.
100%. Dude.
Yeah. It definitely needs some patches a little bit, but that does not take away from the fun factor of the game.
Agreed.
Not in the slightest, bro.
Mhm.
Like you'll have a good time. I IGN gave it a 7. The Sonic fan in me gives it an 8.5.
8.5. Okay, I can get
Yeah.
behind that 100%.
So
That's fair.
this, yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, yeah, this is gonna wrap it up. Hopefully, sometime next week, we'll get out part 2 of the kind of more of the spoiler, in-game stuff.
Yep.
This a little bit more reserved. I'm a little bit more reserved,
Hey, man,
because
thank
I can't
God.
say what I want to say. But, yeah, honestly, just glad you guys are here. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Glad we got to talk about it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the little preview we gave of our impressions on Sonic Frontiers. We will have the next video out with story beats and the complete thoughts about the entire game and what we think and how they could do.
Also,
better
if you're
going
interested
forward.
in watching us play the game live, myself and Ieshie stream this game on twitch.tv.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have
Yes,
those
sir.
links in the bio as well.
1000%.
So make sure y'all stop by. We're gonna be doing a lot of more Sonic Frontiers gameplay.
Yes, sir. All right. That's a wrap, y'all boys.
Sure.